Construction is underway. Just brought home the 8 2x4s right here. Yesterday I bought some foam down at Foam Mart just down the street. This is 1 inch thick and it's going to be 5x6 for the booth. I have it roughly laid out on the ground there. So I'm going to float the floor on top of the foam to isolate the sound coming up from the ground. Phase 1 done. The floor is framed out. These are 16 on center, and then I've got about 8 inches in there. I'll just cut one of the insulation bats in half and stuff that in there. So this is the floor material here, 4x8 sheets. There's 3 of those, and I just had them sawed into pieces. We have to put that wood on that car. So there it is on top of the car. These are the pieces that I couldn't fit inside the car. And then this is what we did inside here. Couldn't quite close the door, so we're putting this around here. But this is modern technology at work here. I'm gonna tell you a story in just a second about how I used to do this with my dad when I was a kid. So the Jim Stewart way of doing things, Jim Stewart being my father, was a little different when I was a kid. I remember going to the local lumber yard with my dad, him putting 4x8 sheets of plywood on the top of our car, not tying them down. He would drive with one hand and hold it with this hand, and I would be on the other side sitting there as a kid with my tiny little kid fingers holding onto the plywood. One day we were driving home, super windy, driving along, all of a sudden, Dad, I don't think I can hold it. Hold on to it, hold on to it. Dad, I don't think I can. Whew. It goes flying up in the air. I turn around and I see this plywood tumbling through the air, like about 20, 30 feet up in the air, comes down in traffic, doesn't hit a car. We just go get the plywood, put it back on, drive it home. That's how Jim Stewart used to do things. Got the floor all laid out here. I'm just putting in the insulation right there. I'll go back and forth and then just fill up these little corners, and then I'm gonna put the floor on top of that. Done a little caulking around on the outside edge. So you can see here I've got the styrofoam. I had to tape it because I had to flip it over and I didn't want the styrofoam to move when I moved the whole floor. Then I've got this piece of plywood here, then I've got my joist, and then I'm just filling it up right there, and then I'll cap it with another piece of plywood on top there. Next comes a ventilation box that is going to go on the outside of the booth. The air comes in the bottom, it goes through a series of padding through here to knock down the sound, and then out here and into the booth, giving me fresh air. Then I'll build a second box with air being pulled out of the box. And these are my calculations. That's my extra wood over there, right here, and I'm gonna cut that up right now and make this happen. I've just cut out the box right here, 4 feet long, 8 inches square box. Now I've just cut one end, and I've put, this is a dryer vent. So this is gonna go in the bottom of the box. I just can put my hose on here, and this will just clamp right in here. So the pipe is feeding the fresh air in here. Here's the final box. Let's trace it down to here. Air's flowing in here, coming around here, around here, around here, and then I'll drill a hole out there and put it into the booth once I get the right height here. And this is all going to be padded with foam. There's my piece that fits on the top there. I will caulk all inside there to make this box airtight, and this will really drown out any sort of noise from the air flowing through here, and it still has lots of room to get through and into the booth. What I wanted to show you guys right now is the air circulation system right here, and here, say hello to Mo the dog. So what we're working with, these are 18-gallon Sterilite bins. I've got 2 of them. One is going to send air into the booth. One is going to take air out of the booth. So what I've done is, you guys can see these motors here. This motor here, it's got a variable adjustable airflow meter on it, and of course it's made in China, so you know it's got quality written all over it. And what I've done is I've taken the 1 inch foam and I'm putting that at the bottom, and then I've just put this 3/4 inch plywood on top, and then I've bolted, screwed the fans into the board so it can move a little bit, but it's rock solid. And then I've cut these 2 holes here. You can see them all the way through on the other side there, so the air will come in go through the blower and get blown out the other side, and then it just gets reversed on the other side right there. Here's one that's finished. I've just put the blower here, blows out there, and it'll suck in that way. And then we're using this stuff here to get the fresh air into the booth. So the idea of this is that it's going outside, and I'm just trying to make it as soundproof as possible because these do generate a little bit of noise. So I will put soundproofing foam all in here and on the top of the lid to knock it down a little bit, and then I'll put expandable foam on the outside here once the tube goes in to suck up a little bit of noise there. But I did a test just as it was with no soundproofing, and it knocks the noise down a lot. There it is, finished west wall. That is gonna go up on that wall right there. I put a little jig together here so that I could measure out the corner to corner, and I'd get the same measurement. That way I knew that it was square. So there it is up on the west wall, and then I've just got a little block up top there so that I can check. So this wall slopes, the ceiling slopes down here. So I just want to be able to make sure that I can get my, I did my measurements correct, and I got my 5/8 drywall that'll fit on top of there. So what I'm doing here is I built the air extraction box right here, and now I've just put a support system in so that I can drill it on and have it sit on there. This is a little tricky because this is gonna go up on that side, so therefore the drywall will be on the outside of this wall. So therefore I've got to get this all together, put all the drywall on it, put the box in place, connect up the air flow system, and then lift the whole thing up and put it against this wall here. My friends, Target is your friend. So what I've got to do now is propagate these two boxes with some foam and some foam in here and on the lid of here, just trying to knock down the noise. And then this is actually air that I'm going to be breathing. So two things here. I'm not gonna put any glue. I did some research to get some non-toxic spray glue, very difficult to get a hold of. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put the foam in there. This foam is bedding foam, so I figure it's probably fairly safe. I got it at Target. This was regular 30 bucks, marked down to $8, yay Target. This stuff I can spray glue it in, it's outside, the air's not gonna be affecting my lungs in any way because it just passes right through this machine through a tube. So the foam in here is just for keeping things quiet outside. Okay, here we go. This is the air outtake box. Just got all the foam in there, and yes, there are a lot of staples. I just didn't want the foam to get loose and blow all around. So this will completely cover everything up here with the lid going on top, and vent port there, and vent port down there. So I'm a big fan of testing things. This is the box that draws air out of the booth. So I've got the blower set up there. It's drawing, so it blows air out that way. Therefore, you can see it coming up here, sucking the air out. So the air is actually moving into the vent, through here, down the pipe, and then gets blown out that way. So a couple of things that I noticed. I usually go heavy duty on things, so this blower is awesome. I'm on the lowest setting now, and it's very, you can actually feel it here. It's sucking the air on the lowest. The only thing that I'm having a little issue with, I'm getting a bit of noise in here. So the air being drawn, moving through here, I'm getting some noise. So I'm just gonna work on getting that as quiet as possible. Since I've got a lot of horsepower on the fan, I've decided to block the airflow a little bit more, which means blocking the sound. So I've just made it, the sound, the airflow is going to go down underneath there, come around here, up over top, down under there, back around through here and out there. So I just wanted it to flow up and down and around things, therefore it would get blocked out by these pieces of foam right here.